Hi there, this is Joe Flex Media. In today's After Effects tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create this GIF using After Effects and Photoshop. So let's begin. Okay, now I've created this on After Effects. This is a GIF. It's 2 seconds GIF. So it's looping. So the next thing we'll have to do is to render this using GIF setting and the render queue. So what we do is to go to File. Once we get the file, we go to Export and add to render queue. So we're going to do a little setting to be able to activate the GIF setting. So what we do here is to select lossless. Click on lossless. Then this is where the magic happens, over here. So in this format, the preset we are going to take is JPEG sequence, and you're going to take JPEG sequence because you want it to generate a number of pixel images that would form the GIF. That is, if you're going to allow it to have a background. Let me show you something. This is a background video. This video has a background. If it is a transparent video, what is going to happen is that when you click this over here, this transparency, toggle transparency grid, you're not going to see any background. Perhaps what you'll be seeing is this image, these two images, and the text, but this has background, so there is no need of using toggle transparency grid. So let me click on it again to allow it to have background. Okay, let's go back to our render queue, which is on this tab. So let's also go back to the setting, which is this. Click on lossless again. So just as mentioned earlier, what we're going to do is to click on this preset and select JPEG sequence. So having done that, every other setting is okay. Well, let me mention something. If we had chosen PNG sequence, in that case you change this RGB to alpha and RGB, or RGB plus alpha, as it is indicated here. So let's go with RGB. All these settings are okay. So let me take it back to JPEG sequence. So while it's on JPEG sequence, this is okay. We click OK and proceed. So what we can do now is to decide where to save this file. So we're going to save this file, that is the result of the GIF creation. We're going to save it in a folder. Okay, let me put that in my desktop. Let me allow it to be on the desktop. Right, let me create the folder here and call it fruit. So it's gonna domicile in the fruit folder. So it's fruit, so let me also call it fruit here. Fruit. So save. This is saved, and this is the name here. So without wasting much time, normally when I export things, I make sure I go back to make sure that the time indicator is at the beginning. Normally at the beginning, timeline indicator is always at the beginning, and then I go back to the render queue tab to make sure every other thing here is okay. This is the setting, and this is the file name. So normally before I render, I normally put my caps lock active. So I put it on caps lock so that in rendering this won't be moving. That is, the animation of the image won't be taking place while the rendering process is continuing, begins and ends. So let me click render. I've activated my caps lock. It's on. and render. So you can see as this proceeds, the progress indicator proceeds, it's going on. The animation here is not going on, and this helps the speed of the rendering as well as help your system processor. So let's wait a bit and this is gonna be done. Just grab your coffee while that is happening. Right, this is complete. Let's try and see what we've done. So let me go to the folder. I'll go to my folder. Let's look at that. This is the folder. So it has generated a number of pixels for what we call frames. A number of frames, a certain number of frames that will make up the GIF. So what we'll do now, we'll go to Photoshop and open Photoshop. This Photoshop. Now Photoshop is open, so what we do next is to go to this folder that contains the series of frames that will form the GIF. So what you do while you've clicked open Photoshop without even going to file new, you don't need to do all of that. We want to click and drag one of at least the first frame of the GIF. We'll drag it to Photoshop immediately. That opens. The reason we are doing this is to get the proper layout of the GIF so that it matches the layout that we had in After Effects. So what we do next is to come here to this is the first layer, but I want to bring in the video layer that will help us generate the GIF. So we go to layer here and go to video layer and say new video layer from file. So we go back to locate that folder that has the fruit, and take also the first one. So once we click it, open. Right, this is it. Is the layer, and the next thing we do is to make sure that in the workspace we have motion selected, and that will enable it to bring out the timeline for video in Photoshop. So this is the timeline in Photoshop. So let's play this. It is supposed to be 2 seconds. Keeps repeating, but we have to also render this in Photoshop to be able to give us the GIF. So it's smooth. So let's stop this by pressing the space bar and go to File, Export, Save for Web. So the important thing to note here is you have to make sure that the preset is on GIF. Let's leave it on this first one. You can either do it in 2 ways. I'm going to show you. You can either do it in 2 ways. You can, first of all, if for instance when we came to this window it's on PNG 24. If you don't want to go here, you come here, just simply click on GIF. It will automatically pre-select GIF 128 detailed. So this okay, all the settings here are good, but you can actually make the color to be 256. If you try it, if you have color bending, you can come back and still return it to 128. But normally I use 256 and it's always okay. You can see some color bending over here, so let's leave it at, we see color bending, so let's return it to 128. It's a bit smoother, as you can see. So but the most important thing to note here is that you have to put the looping here to be forever, not once. Click on forever if forever is not pre-selected. Then you say save. Once you say save, you can also put it in the same fruit folder. You could just kind of change it up a bit. You can say fruit final, so that you know that this is the GIF that you're going to be sharing, you're going to be using for your promotion, for the promotion of perhaps you're doing veggies, fruits and stuff like that. Right click save and done. Save, done. Once that is done, the process is complete. So we'll have to now preview what we have done to see what the final result is. So let's go to the folder. Remember, this is the folder. Let's try and refresh to see the fruit final. This is it. You also have the if you can exercise your preference by putting it in a different folder, that's fine. But I prefer to do it this way. So once it's open, this is a GIF. Continues to play continuously. Plays continuously. You can upload this on the web, you can upload this on social media, you can upload this to advertise your product. So having concluded the final process of rendering in Photoshop to GIF, what you would do next is try to test this. Try to test this using a browser. What you do is to right click, then go to open with, then you click on any of your browsers. It could be Google Chrome, it could be Internet Explorer, Opera, Mozilla, or any browser that you can access. Once you click on it on Internet Explorer, it opens the GIF, and there you have your GIF looping. Just as mentioned earlier, this can be used for social media ad, can be used on your blog, can be used on your affiliate marketing, perhaps landing page, or it can be used in Facebook. Anywhere you want to use it, that the format is acceptable. So thank you for watching. If you are finding value in this program, in these tutorials, please hit the like button, click subscribe, hit the bell notification so you are informed each time we put up new tutorial. Thank you and God bless.